All right, guys, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching this or listening to it, if you're listening after the fact, we are about to go live with David Carroll of Dope Marketing. We're going to get into some cool stuff about his story. We're going to learn about what they're doing with some of their marketing efforts, and we'll give you a little bit of a countdown here. We'll share this out to some of our pages, and we'll be right back with you. All right. I see David was really busy there getting the shares out. That's awesome. So we are live. We are live with another episode of the Blue Crocus Experience. And this one's a little bit different. We're going live on a bunch of platforms. So if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you're listening to the podcast after, that's what's going on with the countdown and all of that good stuff. So David, welcome aboard. I appreciate you jumping on here.
Absolutely. And, thank you for having me.
Yeah, excited to chat. So just to give a little bit of background on David, we're going to dive into a little bit more in detail here, but he runs a cleaning company and he also runs a marketing company. And their marketing company, as you're going to hear, is pretty different from most marketing companies out there. And I'll leave it at that and let you kind of dive into that. But we're not here with just another marketing pitch. It's really cool. We've chatted a little bit in the past, and I'm excited to have you come on. Cam is live here with us. So,
Cam, what up, man?
Dave, if you want to just introduce yourself, and then we'll roll.
Yeah, for sure. So, my name is Dave Carroll. I am the owner and CEO of Lion's Share Maintenance here in the Twin Cities. We've been open. It'll be our 11th year in business next year. We do a couple $1 million a year in revenue. I think we have 14 guys in the field right now. 3 girls in the office. We do exterior cleaning, so like power washing, gutter cleaning, window washing. We got into Christmas lights about 5 years ago. And I am humbly completely phased out of that business. I don't know the names of the guys that work there. I don't do the interviewing. I don't know the jobs that go, what happens in the day-to-day. That is not my job in that business anymore. I get to organize and strategize some of the marketing stuff that we do. We have some agencies that we work with that handle, some of our day-to-day marketing stuff, but I've kind of taken that business to the point of, it's not getting out of the truck or only doing estimates or whatever. Like I am phased out made the decision about 5 years ago to move on to my next entrepreneurial journey, which is Dope Marketing. And Dope Marketing, Lewis, as you mentioned, we are a marketing company, but we're a lot different than your traditional marketing. We don't do anything digital as far as AdWords, Facebook, websites, SEO. That is not our game. We are a full service print shop, but we are a data first print shop. And what we do is focus completely on the list of targeted customers. We have business lists, we have residential lists, we have new mover lists, we have pregnant mom lists. I have people that own horses or smoke cigarettes or anything that you can think of from a data perspective. We start with the data and then we can do any type of print item. So for those of you watching on video, whether it's holiday cards with handwritten messages or it's postcards or it's, we do like booklets, for your company, anything that you could think of print. We can help design, strategize, set up, and execute those campaigns. And then over the past 2 years, we've built a platform, Dope 360, that allows you to even further automate this stuff. You can send automatic mailings. You can do a Neighborhood Blitz and send postcards or marketing to the neighbors of jobs you've completed. You can sign up for a new home buyer mailing. So every month, the people that buy a home in your service area, you can send them postcards, kind of win that race to the door. And so we've taken data, combined it with print, because they were always kind of married, but you usually had to deal with 2 different companies and then throw a designer on top of it. Mailing campaigns were taking a couple weeks for your average company to execute, or even a print order. And we make that a lot easier, a lot more simple, and remove the friction in those, print transactions, especially on a very granular targeted level.
Love it. Yeah, no, and you touched on a few things, kind of, breezed over them there, and we got to get into those in more detail. But the stuff that you can do with taking those lists, like you said, whether it's someone who loves crickets or horses or smokes or like smoking and horses, right?
Yeah.
There's so much that you can do with the timing of what you guys do and things that we do in our agency, which is like Facebook ads and stuff. So we've definitely got to dive into that a little bit. But can you bring people up to date? You talked a bit about your cleaning business, but bring us up to date, your journey to this point. What made Dave the person he is today without taking 2 hours on it?
Yeah. So it was a pretty interesting journey. Basically what happened is I started my cleaning company, and like everyone else, we had no clue what we were doing. I had a job before as a window washer, and I'm like, I don't want a boss. I want to go do this myself. So like most of us, I started that journey. We tried to figure it out. And what happened was a year or two into the company, I'm like, I have that weird conversation with myself that I want to get to $1 million. How do I do this? And the number, you just make it up. What's the journey? How do you get there? So this was even pre-Facebook a little bit. It was the forums online, and Facebook was just kind of getting rocking and rolling. So I'd go in the groups and just like look up the guys who were already doing this in their business, who had a bunch of employees, a bunch of crews. What were they doing? What type of jobs, what type of services they were offering? And so what happened is I saw that a lot of guys were doing work for property managers. And I started doing research on how to find property managers in my local area, whether it was going on Google or LinkedIn. I found that you could expedite a lot of the, manual searching by signing up for a local property management association as a vendor or a sponsor. Right. They give you in return for your $500 or $1,200 or $3,000 or whatever. We get a list of the property managers that are members of the association. So I started local here in the Twin Cities market. And then I started buying up national databases of property managers. And what I would do is I would take those, and then we would go aggregate our own list of property managers. We'd run Facebook ads and make a free download for property managers, how to better manage your property, just like writing content and curating our own lists. We would combine them with those national associations and then start to get booths at trade shows, like selling property manager data. And we do like a postcard for property managers and include that, or an email template with the content. And it just kind of like started taking off. And so I'm running my cleaning company, but we also kind of by accident, we started up a data company. And what happened is a guy kind of took me under his wing. This was about 8 years ago. He had also owned a power washing company. Dear friend of mine, his name's Jeremy. He had been a list broker for like 20 years. And I didn't even know what that was. Yeah. But we had met at a convention. We started following each other online and chatting. And he was like, reached out to me like 6 months later. I was like, Dave, so I see what you're doing with this property manager stuff. You're taking it serious. Like, what is your plan with this? I don't know, but I like it. Like it fascinated to me. It made sense. I could get in the weeds. And I really found this love of mine, which I still have to this day, which is like getting in the spreadsheets and understanding like where this stuff comes from, where it's aggregated from, why is business data such lower quality than residential data, and just really started getting in the weeds with this stuff. It's just fascinating to me. And so Jeremy offered to start mentoring me. He's like, so Dave, there's a business in aggregating lists and buying lists and selling lists. And while I was learning all this stuff as mentoring under Jeremy, I started applying a lot of these things to my cleaning company. And our data company then started working with home service businesses. And it was kind of, like everything, right? It was kind of like a side thing. And like every good business, you're kind of making it up as you go and figuring it out or whatever. And then it started getting serious because we started getting results for ourselves and for other people. And in the process of this, I had started sending for my cleaning company like 100,000 pieces. We've scaled up to this, but it was 2,500, then 5,000, then 10,000, then 25,000, then 50,000, where we got up to the point where we were sending like 100,000 pieces of direct mail a month because I understood how to get into the right list a month. Yeah, man, I was getting by the pallet. We were doing like EDDM cards, like these big ones where like we would put together strategies. So there's a difference between sending EDDM, where you do like a saturation, there's no targeting. You're just sending mail to a whole carrier route. We were doing a lot of that stuff. And over the years, we perfected the way of how to like combine EDDM, where you're going to get a cheaper postage rate, while then sending like targeted postcards or targeted, handwritten letters, handwritten letters with a handwritten note inside or something like that to a list. And we started combining all this stuff together. And so fast forward, we're doing this for years through our sister company, A-Type Data, which kind of powers dope marketing. But 2 years ago, we created Dope Marketing in an effort to really make direct mail more simple. Because as we would work with clients or talk to them and give this strategy or this advice, like mail's expensive, it's complicated, it's confusing, there's all these different pieces to it. And I really saw there was an easier way. We talked about this the other day, Lewis. It's like, I'm not trying to be dramatic, like Blockbuster, Netflix, corruption in the market, whatever. But it's also like the print space is full of a bunch of older guys that are soggy and that are good at golf and their kids don't work for them. And it's like, I just didn't see a lot of people in their early 30s, late 20s, whatever, that were like really into mail, but into every side of it. And so it kind of became a passion of mine. Like, we learned and became experts in the world of data. We worked with some small companies. We created a vendor relationship where we got introduced through agencies we were working with to huge Fortune 500 companies. And it was just seeing the relativity of all of it. It really got me, to the level of understanding where we could build a platform that allowed people to come in, pick a list, clean a list, have the option to use call tracking, have a bunch of postcard templates, or let people come in and upload their own templates, schedule a one-time mailing, schedule repeat mailing. I want to send a postcard to my customer list once a month, or I went into my Service Titan, my House Call Pro, my whatever CRM, and I downloaded my customer list. And I sorted it by zip code. And I see these are the top 5 zip codes where we're doing work. So I want to send a monthly mailing to people in those zip codes that are homeowners between the age of 35 and 60 years old. Their house is worth over $400K. It was built more than 5 years ago and they have a kid. I want to send a monthly mailing to those people. Like, that stuff just really wasn't out there. The stuff that was out there, it was a bit clunky. It was a bit heavy. It was built by direct mail people, not people with a marketing brain or with a service business or a real estate business. And so for me, it was like, I had some background in software development. We had launched some products in the past in the data space or the home service space, had some wins, had some hard losses too. And basically, we made the decision to build this platform. And now as we just continue to add features, I think in the past, we launched Dope 360 in beta February of this year. It's really been rocking and rolling for about 6-7 months. I think over the past 18 days, we've onboarded 60 people. It's incredible. Yeah, it's what you want in your platform. It's like to that point now where we've gone to the top of the roller coaster, and now it's like, whoa, all right, now it's moving, and it's so exciting for us because as you get those rush of new people on the platform in different verticals, they're asphalt pavers, they're power washers, they're roofers, they're window cleaners, they're lawn care guys, whatever the case is, we're getting the feedback we need now to really strategize where our roadmap for our features are going. And so one of the features we added recently, the Neighborhood Blitz that we talked about the other day, it's just so powerful. It's great. You can type in an address and say, I want to send a postcard to the nearest 25 people to this house that have a home value over 300,000 or whatever. Those postcards go out first class. They'll be there in we can't guarantee the 5-day delivery, but we print them within 2 days. They go to the postal stream and the post office has 3 to 4 days to deliver those and figure it out. Mail. And I mean, it just the power of, whether it's highlighting a job you completed, or you're a roofing guy that has a storm area or an expiring insurance area, or maybe you're a lawn care guy or an HVAC guy that has your monthly or weekly maintenance programs, and you want to hit the neighbors and give them a special offer to build up your route. A real estate person that has an open house that wants to send 200 postcards to the neighbors to highlight a listing, the list goes on. I mean, there's just thousands and thousands of use cases that are available, and we make it pretty easy. The platform's free. There's no monthly charge. There's no lifetime charge. You use it a la carte, and a lot of cool stuff coming.
Yeah, I mean, my first impression, when I saw you guys were doing direct mail, I was like, oh, that's cool. Because we connected a few months ago. I think I was looking for someone to print driveway signs for a client of mine, and I went into pressure washing groups, and everyone was like, "Get in touch with Dave," and so I did, and we connected. And I've just been watching what you're doing, and like you said, it's not older guys who are just pushing mail carts around. Nothing against those guys; they make the world go round.
Right? Exactly.
But it's like you're taking this and you're making it fun. You're making it exciting. You're making it, really, really granular, like you said. And Cam says Dave's energy is almost enough to make me actually consider marketing. Cam, I think there's a lot of power.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, no, Cam, I think there's a lot of. So Cam runs a striping business.
Yeah.
So I think maybe since he's on here, we could actually talk about some of the applications for that, because I was going to say, you've talked about how you can target all these specific people, you can target this and that, but let's dive into let's go through a mock-up for Cam.
Yeah, let's use Cam as an example. So like for someone like Cam, what market are you in? Where are you at in the country?
He's in BC.
Okay, so the idea is with Canada, there are some different data rules and regulations. But let's say from a list perspective, Cam, we could find businesses that are just in your service area, whatever it is, just whether it's it could be facility managers as a job title. Maybe it's property managers. Maybe we're looking for apartment building operators. Like the way that businesses are defined, it's called a SIC code, a SIC code. And that might be a US based system. We have some clients in Canada, but again, Canadian data falls under European data rules. So there's some red tape there, but we can always talk through that. So the way it works, you find a list of businesses in your area by job title, by business type, whatever the case is. We would put together a postcard or some type of mailing. So we could do something like a postcard, or we could do something a little more intimate where it'd be like we do a custom envelope with a handwritten piece on the inside, like something like that. Highlighting the service.
Talk a bit about that technology, Dave.
We'll get into that in a minute, because that's really powerful. So we have the ability, guys, we have these handwriting machines. They're robot arms that we can program a message into. We can do custom envelopes. You get a 99.9% open rate when you send somebody a handwritten envelope with a first-class stamp.
Okay. Now, hold the phone, Dave. I thought it was printed. It's actually handwritten, or
handwritten. So we have
across the paper.
I have one here in my office. Look at this, guys. This is not printed. That is with a blue pen, indented, so we have like 10 different fonts that you can put on this, but no, you've seen them before where it's like,
oh no. Hang in there, guys. I don't know if this is on my end or on Dave's end.
Guys, that was on my end. Apparently the Wi-Fi at my office just dropped, but thank God for hotspots.
I love it. Cool. Okay. Well, I'm sure everyone, we lost a couple people, but they'll jump back on because I know that we're just getting into the good stuff here.
So the idea is we get a letter from, the Cadillac dealership trying to buy my wife's truck every month. And this is printed. Like as a consumer, you can see it. It's like you get the envelope. It's not I thought I had this thing on my desk, if you guys see me searching around here, but for another time. Basically,
I was waiting for you to see that.
Too much. So basically, you've all seen these in the mail where it's like a printed, handwritten font. And as a consumer, you look at this and you're like, maybe whatever. No, these are not that. These are handwritten 100%. Like, look at that. It is completely not Fugazi printing, and it's the same thing with the messages inside of the cards. So the open rate with this handwriting stuff, and going to the example for Cam, you get a list of businesses in your area, and once a month you send them something out where this is the beauty of us being a print shop. There's a difference between a print shop and a print broker. We're not designers that go design your stuff and send it to Got Print. You got to wait a week and a half to receive it. You know they didn't print it. There's a print shop behind me. We do all this stuff internally. So the idea is that we can take an envelope and add a couple different pieces. So we're going to put a card in it. We're going to put a business card and like a folded handwritten note to the person that's like, hey, Dave, my name's Cam from ABC Striping. We do a ton of work in your area, and I just want to let you know in the month of January, we're doing free assessments. So if you can confirm this is the address of your property, just shoot me a text or a call back at this number. Let's set up a time to do a quick complimentary site walk and see how to budget out your guys' season or get any, you restripe your stuff once a year. We got some great deals, whatever it is, it's totally customizable. But the idea of like sales 101 for someone in Cam's position in a striping company or any other of the home service businesses watching, it's like you can send a piece of mail. We can track that the mail gets there. And then you can pick up the phone and call these people and go, hey, did you get the piece of mail I sent? That's an easy campaign. But now throw someone like Lewis's company on top of this, that we can take the list of people we're going to send the mail to. Lewis can spin up the ads that are going to run 7 to 10 days before the people get the mail. That's a video. Hey, what's up? This is Lewis at ABC Striping. You're going to get this in the mail in the next week. Make sure when you get it to call me because there's some crazy special offers in here. Give me a buzz, Lewis, ABC Striping. Click the link below. Rah, rah. Lewis can take and run that 7 to 10 days before the mail comes. We drop the mail. That hits. Now you guys do the phone email, the phone follow-up, the email follow-up. They're coming in from your Google searches. You're posting on LinkedIn. Like actually being able nowadays, and this is part of the reason I get so excited about this stuff, is like
it's crazy.
What wasn't possible 5-10 years ago for smaller, medium-sized businesses to execute cross-channel marketing campaigns like this, where some of the huge companies we've worked with, they've been doing this for 10 years. You get a postcard from Home Depot. You go online, you look at the lawnmower on Home Depot. You don't buy the lawnmower. It's following you around for 3 weeks on the internet. Like there's all these different things these huge companies have been doing. But one of my favorite sayings in business is like perception outweighs reality, but a first impression lasts forever. So if you're a new business, but you look like $1 million, smell like $1 million, talk like $1 million, and you go do the work that you promised you said you were going to do and don't collect the check until it's done, what's the difference between you and the 30-year company that you used to work for before you started your business? Like you can appear as, what's the line from Boiler? As if, act as if, like put yourself in this spot, look the role, talk the role, act, speak the role, do what the role is required of, and you can expedite scaling your business, whether you're a first-year guy, 5-year guy, 10-year guy that's just getting into any of this stuff. It's like the technology is all out there, and that's why we built the company we did, because we want to make this possible for businesses to execute these strategies on small levels. This isn't like a $10,000 buy-in to put together these strategies. If you align the right agencies, you can do this stuff for relatively inexpensive to create that intimate feeling with your customers.
Well, and the conversion rates are so high, like you say, because I'm still reeling from the fact, this is kind of awkward because we had the conversation just the other day, but I did not realize it was an actual handwritten thing. I thought you were just taking, like, I was like, oh, cool, they're doing like the personalized letters that it looks like it's handwriting, but that's bonkers.
Like literally, we can take any pen, make the arm hold it, you program the job into it, we print everything that we're going to put in your piece internally, and then from there, it's like, we're off to the races. And so this time of year, we're still doing like Christmas cards and holiday cards right now because we can turn jobs over in like 2 days. So Christmas cards are huge right now. Thank you cards. Maybe you had a list of prospects that you gave a bid to this year that didn't go with you, but you want to send them a thank you for allowing us to bid your job, knowing that you're going to send them another postcard or advertise it to them digitally going into Q1. So many different possibilities. But yeah, we get a little hopped up about the intimacy of this handwritten stuff because it's powerful, and there's just not many companies offering that service.
No, that's crazy. That takes things to a whole new level. I just finished handwriting. We don't have a ton of people right now, but I was thinking, if we could handwrite cards to people that we've just touched once in the year and send them out, and just be like, we appreciate, seeing you guys online, interacting with you. There's that. But I mean, from a know, like, trust factor, like I always talk about the know, like, trust factor with people. And I think, it was really hammered home by Mike Claudio, who's actually Cam Roberts' business coach. He talked about it a lot on his podcast.
I was talking with Mike the other day, actually. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So he hammers that home, and I mean, it's such a crucial thing in business is if you can hit them with that video first, just as one of the many strategies you can do. Hit them with the video first, saying, "Look, you're going to get this in the mail." Yeah. They get it in the mail. It's like, that's weird. Just saw that video. They were talking to me. Like that feels a little bit weird, right?
Exactly.
And then they open it up. It's handwritten, which is another crazy thing. And then they call you up, and then it's just like you've just like skipped rungs on the ladder there, and at a cost that is really, really approachable.
Before the transaction, we're all consumers at heart. Doesn't matter how many businesses you own or how long you've been doing it. We're all consumers.
Yeah.
Before the transaction comes trust, and anything that you can do, like, good marketing before anything breeds trust. Yep. When you go back to Home Depot, you get the advertisement in the mail, you see them in the paper, you go online, they're retargeting you, the lawnmower's following you around, you're like, all right, Home Depot, I trust you. I get it. Like, and when you can take the customer by the hand and walk them down the path towards the transaction, the conversion, the swiping the credit card, it's touches, and it's value in the touches. And the more valuable the touch, well, the more expensive it's going to be. It's why we're such huge proponents of not only direct mail, but aligning ourselves with agencies that can help complement the direct mail. Because when you have a customer that trusts you, it's one of the most fascinating things to me is when we send out the handwriting campaigns or any of this stuff, clients will always get a call or two from people they were advertising to that have marketing jobs. And they're just like, I just wanted to let you know that this is amazing, and I just work in marketing. I'm not going to buy from you right now, but I had to call you to tell you that this is cool and you're going in the right direction. Because, again, it just goes back to the fact that, like, it's technology that allows us to do this stuff. So it's not like Lewis and I have a magic wand and just have the world figured out. It's like the idea of, where I spend my time during the day outside of yelling, balding, and smoking is like figuring out best practices. Like, what are the best practices right now? What are the big boys doing? What are the influencers doing? Like, when you see go corny with it, the Gary V's, the Grant Cardones, the like guys like that, like, what are they talking about? What are these ideas that are kind of like all of us have the same power. We have the same amount of minutes in the day, and we have Google. Like, you can figure all this stuff out. And so it's
unlimited free Google searches every day.
Oh, it's honestly ever. And so if you can take your minutes, value them during the day, get done what you need to, right? Like, there's going to be hours of the day. You got to work. You got to spend time with your family, time with your kids, whatever. But those grinding hours, those entrepreneurial hours, I challenge everyone that owns a business to be keeping up on these best practices. Like, the guy in my industry who's doing $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, $20 million a year, like, what's he up to? What's he posting about? What's he talking about? What's an article that he shared that I can go read to educate myself on? And for me, in the data, direct mail, and print space, it's like figuring out how to expedite delivery around things. I want to be able to provide to businesses. Like, I want to get, if you have a job next Friday and we have some lead time, how do we get postcards in the inboxes of the neighbors of the people where you're going to be putting on a show at their house or at their business? How can we plan for that? Or you just finished a job. How can we not let 2 weeks go by to where we can highlight that job, whether it's like doing a postcard or maybe making a postcard and a yard sign and a door hanger that all look the same. So you're running your Facebook ads. Before the mail hits, you're putting out your yard signs. Then the postcards hit. Then you're putting out, when you go get the bids, now you got some leads coming in from everything. Now you're putting door hangers on the houses that got the postcard that are seeing the ads. The yard signs are coming out of the neighborhood at the stop signs before the busy streets. Like, it's all our job to apply these best practices as business owners, because technology makes it available now, where prior it wasn't there. But now it is, and it's It's exciting.
And the thing I like is it's so different because everybody and their uncle does Facebook ads. Everybody and their uncle does SEO. Everybody and their uncle does Google ads. And you can have the most incredible website and all of this stuff, but this is different. This is taking it a step level. It's like a personalized gift almost. It's a personalized something that it hits different. That's huge. It's huge. And maybe let's walk through, you were talking to me the other day about some of the new home buyer campaigns, and you touched on it quickly.
Yeah.
But let's talk through that. Talk through a couple other nifty little tricks that you can do.
Yeah, for sure. So new home buyers is like one of our main focuses going into 2021. My opinion is that I don't care if you're watching this live, listening to the replay, watching the replay, like if you service people in a local market and you're not marketing to new home buyers, you're not doing your job right. And the reason is if Lewis lives on 123 Main Street and Dave moves next door to 125 Main Street, Dave is going to spend $8,000 to $12,000 in cash more than Lewis in 90 days. I need a new dentist. I need a new mechanic. I need a new daycare for my kids. I need a new lawn care guy. I was wondering on how I could get the asphalt done on my driveway because it's all cracked. My roof needs a repair that wasn't done in the contingent of my buying the home. These people are buyers. They're begging because they don't know. They just moved. They don't know what service to use. So it's a race to the mailbox for every single vertical. How do you earn the lifetime value of this new home buyer? Because some services are one and done, right? If you put an asphalt driveway done outside of repairs or some maintenance or whatever, you might not talk to those people for a couple of years. Same thing with roofing. But let's go to like lawn care, HVAC, dentists, chiropractors, real estate people, like anyone that can provide more than one service in a short amount of time. I'll use my company, Lion Share Maintenance, as an example. So let's say we're going to run an offer for, siding cleaning to new homeowners every single month. We'll send a postcard because we have a feed of new homeowners every week and every month all over the entire country that we can plug in. We have 3, 6, and 12-month agreements where we can do the postcard design. It changes every month. You're hitting the new homeowner the first week when they move into the home, educating them about your services. And the idea is, to use my cleaning company as an example, we will send out a postcard every first week of the month to everyone that just bought a home in the Twin Cities regularly. Right. Even during the winter, we still do it because we want to get our brain.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll give them an offer, $50 off any one service, $100 off multiple services. And that could be a gutter cleaning for $120 that we literally discount $50. And the reason we do that is because I just bought you as a customer for life. Because we're going to clean your gutters twice a year. We're going to wash your windows once a year. We're going to wash your siding every 2 years, driveway cleaning, holiday lighting. Like, we just established ourselves as the go-to. And think of how convenient it is for the new home buyer because they're painting rooms, they're getting the nursery ready, they're doing all the stuff in their house. And you made it so easy for them to make a decision that now they're brand loyal to you for as long as you look like $1 million, smell like $1 million, deliver like $1 million. Like, as long as you're following that system like you should be in your business to just communicate well, offer good service. A smart man once told me, all of us are just a customer service company that happens to do what we do for a living. So we're a customer service company that just happens to send direct mail. Lewis is a customer service company that just happens to build websites, do SEO, do digital ads. Like, if you just can make yourself available, and advertising to new home buyers is one of the greatest ways to do it in the world, because you can spend like a couple $100 a month getting in front of a couple hundred new home buyers, get 2, 3, 4, 5 leads a month. You're in the black on that campaign. Let's say you pay $1 a piece for the postcards and you send 300 a month. So you're spending 300 a month sending to new home buyers. You get 2, 3, 4, you get 10 leads. You close 3, 4 of the jobs. You're already in the black on that campaign. But think about the lifetime value.
Exactly.
How much more you're getting. And so it's like, from the data side, new home buyers is huge. Just homeowners, like, one of the best strategies that I can offer to anyone that owns a business on a local level where there's good hot pockets in town. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'll cover it again quickly. This is the strategy. If you take anything from listening to this this is something you can do today, wrapping up the year. Because it's, what are we, a week before Christmas? Like, everyone's in the same plan right now. What happened this year? What do we do next year? Here's what you do with your stats from this year, year 1, year 5, year 30, doesn't matter. Take an output from your CRM. So whatever you're using, Service Titan, Job Nimbus, House Call Pro, whatever it is that you're using, doesn't matter. Download your customer list. Put it into an Excel file. Highlight the whole spreadsheet. Sort it by zip code. So your whole customer list is going to be sorted in order by zip code. Make a list. Make another tab on the spreadsheet. I'm a writer. I do legal pads and burn through these things all day. But make a tally of how many jobs you did in those zip codes. Your top, depending on how big your service area is, 5 zip codes, 10 zip codes, 20 zip codes. You need to know what zip codes you're servicing the most, because it'll tell you exactly where to spend your marketing dollars. You know who your customer is. Karen that comes to the door, or the husband that called you and the wife is doing the appointment, like whatever the case is, the idea is like, you know your avatar. And for most people, you don't need to complicate this. It's a 35 to 65 plus year old homeowner that has a home value over X. In Minnesota, for us, it's 450,000. That's what I like. Florida, you're in an area, it might be a little more, a little less. New Jersey, there's high home values. Texas, it might be a little lower. California, we know that's going to be skyrocketed. You know the average value of a home. So all these people that get all crazy, okay, I want them to make $100,000 a year and have a net worth of this, and they have this many kids. It's like, great, but that doesn't matter. You're just going to eliminate the people that matter, because when you're filtering out who your perfect customer is, it's how old they are, how much their home is worth, and then maybe the year their home was built. There's going to be industries where, like roofing, maybe some of the asphalt, like a new build, you might not be redoing a driveway at a new build because the house just got built. But if you want to put in that filter, it's a homeowner, they're this age, and their house was built older than this date or within this range or whatever. Those 3 metrics are the perfect targeting. And so you can take from your customer list the jobs you've already done, come up with the zip codes you need to target, and we can come on and say, okay, for these zip codes, my phone is yelling at me because our hotspot is draining my battery. Hold on.
I love it.
For these zip codes, it's like, how do you profile the people? Well, we can do that for you. If you say, Dave, these are my top 5 zip codes, top 10 zip codes. I need to know how many people have a house over 350,000 that are 35 to 65 years old, that their house is more than 10 years old. We can tell you exactly how many people we have coverage for that meets that. And now we just go into strategizing the campaign. What's the offer? What's the design? What are we doing? We put all that together. And I don't want to make it sound easy, but we've done this once or twice, so it makes it kind of—
Yeah, and the power of that is, like, once they've paid for that list and gotten that list, you can take that to whoever's running your marketing campaigns, your Facebook campaigns. You were saying, we were talking about the fact that, you can pull cell numbers, you can pull email, you can pull all of this stuff, and actually a lot of your data is better than what a lot of people are going to get from the scrapers out there, because
there's no question. Yeah, like, and that's, let me be clear, we don't scrape data. That is like a racial slur to me. Like, the scraping data is not, yeah. There's a time and a place for it, right? Like, everyone prospecting, whatever. We clean our lists. We validate them daily, monthly, quarterly. Now, here's the thing everyone has to remember with all this magic. Data is never perfect. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to have the ultimate 100% valid list of cell phone numbers for anyone, because there's turnover. That being said, the difference between buying a list or licensing a list and scraping it, you're going to see a dramatic difference. It's going to cost. There's going to be some cost to it, but data still costs pennies. I mean, we're not talking about dollars per contact or anything. Mail is expensive. Postage, printing isn't really expensive. Postage is expensive. But that goes back to the conversation of the value of trust. The thing is, for those of you that have experience or have scraped data or have bought lists or aggregated lists, here's the thing. You can have the best campaign in the world, the best offer, the best everything, the best design, the best funnel. If your list sucks, your campaign is going to suck. There's no way around
dripping money down the drain.
Exactly. And so it's like you put all this effort into building your campaign, building your funnel, but then you go buy this cheap crap data and you're like, why didn't this work? Well,
that's
the answer is definitely there every time. And so that's where we pride ourselves on. The list is first, and it starts in two ways. You need a list or you have a list. If you need a list, we can take and give suggestions and help profile through our experience or, things that have worked in the past. If you need a list, we can guide you towards that list you need. If you have a list, we can make that list more valuable. We can do what's called a data model on your list. So outside of taking your customer list, sorting it by zip code, and knowing the geography of who you need to target, we actually have a service, and there's going to be a pretty cool offer coming up on this. Louis, me and you can do a cool offer on this too.
I love it.
Basically, we can take your customer list. You send it to us. We can profile. It's like 11 to 13 demographic points and tell you what's the average age of this person, how much money do they make, how many kids they have, what's their education level, what is their home worth. So simply, without you even having to short your spreadsheet, you send your customer list to us. We profile it, we model it, we tell you, Louis, your customer is a 40 to 50-year-old woman who makes over $70,000 a year. She has more than one kid, and her house is worth more than $300,000. So what do? We go to our data portal. We pull out those profiles. We take your customer list. We suppress that. We exclude that from the list of people that match your customer perfectly. And now we can provide a list of people in your local market that have the exact same behaviors as everyone who's bought from you in the past. And this isn't some Facebook lookalike audience that you can't get access to, but you can advertise it. This is on a spreadsheet. It's like Karen Jones, 123 Main Street, 43 years old, 2 kids, makes $80K a year. Her house is worth $400,000. Like, she's on that list. We can send mail to him. We can print for him. You can give it to Louis. He can run ads to the people. Like, there's so many different possibilities. What you're sitting on with your customer list is solid gold, because we can take that and turn it in and show you how many people are available in your local market that match the exact same, demographic profile as those people that have purchased from you in the past.
It's crazy. I'm going to bring up Cam's comment again here, just because I think this is everyone who's listening. Scott,
I get going a little bit with this stuff, but it's powerful stuff.
Scott says the coordination of marketing pre and post service is just blowing his mind. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So let's talk more, because I know I work with a lot of people in the commercial space, and we were talking about this on the call the other day. Let's talk about how we can make that work, because I know Cam is probably thinking about that. Scott does seal coding. Let's talk about how we can reach out to property managers, reach out to general contractors, those people that we need to, because we've really dove into the homeowner side of it.
The residential side or the consumer side, but the business side, it's the same thing. So we can take, you say, Dave, I want a list of general contractors or property managers or facility managers or dentist offices, or make it up. It's called a SIC code, an SIC code. It's the way businesses are classified. So we can reference an SIC code for a certain industry, or we can just pull job titles. Like, I want a list of real estate agents or general contractors. What we've done in the past for that type of marketing is we put together the list. We say, here's your prospect by job title. We can do like numbers of years in business. We can do number of employees. We can do square footage of the building we're in. There's a lot of different profiles on the consumer side. What we like to do on the consumer side is send a piece of mail or something. So like an envelope, handwritten, something good on there, your company logo on a handwritten thing. And then inside of it, we'll put like a service letter that just highlights the services you offer with a little handwritten message or note inside. We were just playing with some of these the other day. So like little handwritten messages or notes with like your header, your company information down here, like whatever. You send them something in the mail that's like, hey, here's who we are. Here are what we do. You have 27 problems during the day. Here's the bullet points of the ones I can solve perfectly. Call me or text me at any time. We mail those out to the commercial contacts for your business. We provide the phone numbers and the emails where available. Again, remember, data's never perfect, so it's not going to be 100% phones or 100% emails. We're going to have a good solid chunk of phone numbers and emails of the people we sent the mail to. The company now, Cam, is going to pick up the phone after the mail delivers, call those people and go, hey, Mary, Cam over at ABC Striping. Just wanted to see if you got that thing we sent you in the mail the other day. We're prepping for the new year. We got some site visits going on. We know it's budget season. Can we set up a time for me to stop by your office and do whatever? Let's say you don't get Mary and you leave her a message. Well, you send her an email asking the same thing. And then the next month, you're sending her another piece. The thing is, like, you guys that work with commercial contacts enough. So like for my cleaning company, about 60% of our work is commercial through property managers doing work at HOAs, strip malls, multi-unit communities, like all that type of stuff, siding cleaning, gutter cleaning, window washing, whatever. And you guys know well enough that when you get one of these property managers, they don't give you their biggest job in their portfolio right away. You get a little shit job or another little job that like no one really wanted, or it's a thorn in her side or whatever. You work your way up, but then once you're mailing to her once a month or people in their office, so many other companies aren't doing this. So you establish yourself as the brand where you're just like, look, steal this one-liner from me. Everyone watching or listening to this, please. Karen, you have 37 problems during the day. I can solve 13 of them perfectly. Let me know when you need this. And your question to these commercial contacts is not, hey, can I bid a job? Hey, can I whatever? It's, how do I get on your list of vendors so that when you have a job come up that I can help with, I at least have the opportunity to bid or kind of show you how we do things. And while we're at getting on your list of vendors, do you have any thorns in your side right now or stuff? So they call it like a punch list or a checklist in the property management world or the facility management world. One thing we like to do on these handwritten notes is be like, hey, Karen, do you have anything on your punch list that relates to this? And you do your service list, because they got this, this crap list all year of stuff they can never get done. Yeah. And if you can be the company that helps start to solve some of those problems, now you jump up on that list of vendors really. And I just know this from experience, we've done it. We've helped.
And it goes back to lifetime value, right?
Boom. Exactly. I mean, when you go down to it, it's like, let's say you had to spend, don't look at the whole cost of a campaign, but look at it from a granular level. Let's say you make a list of like 500 commercial contacts that you want to get in front of in 2021. Is it worth $3-4 a month to send some crazy intimate piece? Like you can send stuff for $1 a piece. You can send stuff for $3-4 a piece, like a manila envelope with a presentation folder, with stacker paper, with a trifold and a service letter and a business card. What you need to ask yourself is, regardless of your budget or where you're at in your business, is it worth it for you to spend $1 to $3 a month to get in front of your list of perfect customers every single month? Because the answer should be yes. And so it's like,
taking them out to coffee, driving out to their office, you can't do that, right?
And you just lay out those touches. So like, you're sending them emails, you're sending them stuff in the mail, you're stopping by, bringing them a Starbucks gift card, do just anything. Dude, I used to make up, like when I was driving around for Lion Share, I used to a couple of property management offices are out by the airport in Bloomington. And one day when I was like, I had nothing to do, nothing on the calendar. I was running around I'd hit up 4 property managers. Hey, I got a bid down the street from your office today. Are you going to be around? I was like completely making it up. I had nothing to do with anything in their neighborhood. But just like, if you have more time than you have work, so whether you're a new business or it's your slow season or whatever, if you have more time than you have work, it's your job to go tell as many people possible the problems you can solve for them. It's a better, it's a different problem where you're like, I have too much work and now I have to hire people and go through interviews and blah, blah, blah. But until you're to the point where like you're capped out, regardless if you're new, you're slow, it's a dead season, whatever, your job should be coming up with these creative ways of how to just touch your prospects, follow up with your current customers. And it's like, you're not trying to reinvent the wheel with any of this. It's where I go back to that sorting your jobs by zip code. It's like, look at what you've done good in the past, whether it's commercially or residentially, and try to get a list of similar people. So you can just do the same thing. Like, why reinvent the wheel and make up some new campaign that's going to win and lose and test and this and that, when it's like, let's look at what we've done good in our business or what someone who's really successful has done good in our business and just try to figure out how to like steal like an artist and duplicate something we've done or someone else has done easier.
100%. Yeah, no, that's huge. Man, if we go too much longer, I think everybody's just going to be, their brains are just going to be poof.
I'm good for, if we want to do like a couple questions, and then of course, like we talked about, Lewis, we can do another one of these.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing another one of these. Certainly
regular.
Yeah, I think a regular thing, because I pick up cool things, things that I can take back to our clients, people who are listening. There's so many different ways you can leverage this. And I'm just thinking about it from a, you mentioned the Facebook lookalike audiences. Everybody talks about those. They're awesome. But if you can get even more granular and get lists that are super accurate, have the cell numbers which relate better to the Facebook profiles of the people you're actually looking to reach, you're going to spend a little bit more upfront, but the return is going to be so much better because you're not just throwing darts at the wall and hoping that they stick. Exactly. Cam said, "I'm following you everywhere. Want to come be my sales guy?"
Friday, Cam. You gotta convince my wife, the boss. She says I need a new idea, like I need a hole in the head, but figure something out.
I love it. Julio says, let's get this information out. So he actually made a little thing here. So he made DOPE, delivering minds connected with opportunities and information, so products and services can excel in marketing and sales.
Julio, I want to hire you.
Yeah, definitely get connected there. Julio is he's got some cool stuff with words there going on. So
absolutely.
Cam says Canada's a new idea.
Canada is a new idea. We have a couple. Cam, we can talk about that. I have some data partners in Canada. The thing that we'll have to jump through is the lists, but we can talk about that. Cam, reach out. We can connect for sure.
Yeah, no, I think there's a big opportunity here in Canada, but everybody who's listening,
and there is. We can do it. We just got to, Lewis, me and you got to put our heads together too. I have two of my vendors in mind that I know have access to the data. We just have to cross our I's, dot our T, or whatever. You know what I mean? We have to make sure everything is kosher before we go into it.
How can people find you, Dave?
DopeMarketing.com or Dope Marketing on Facebook, DOPE Marketing. We are a little active on the social platforms. We're pretty easy to find, but DopeMarketing.com. Don't ever hesitate to reach out personally. We got a pretty lean team. We got about 11, 12 people on our team over here. I always love to be a first touch point, go through initial campaigns with people, talk before we assign people to any reps or anything, but message us on our site, Facebook, email, whatever. We are responsive and easy to get a hold of.
Yeah, no, and I guarantee if you follow his page, you'll start seeing some of his videos that he targets you with. Just let out a little secret there.
You might see our ads if you visit our pages, maybe.
But here's the thing, guys. Dave brings good ideas. Dave brings the energy. If you're having a down day, just hop into Dope Marketing and maybe you'll see an ad the next little while. But this has been incredible. This has been really fun for me. I know that we've got some huge things planned for my clients and going forward. So everybody, get in touch with Dave. Follow what they're doing at Dope Marketing. It's dope. What can I say? So if you're watching this later on the podcast on YouTube or on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us a subscribe, leave a review, give Dave a shout out. That would help Dave and help our audience, grow as well. So appreciate it, Dave. We'll probably sign off here for now, but we'll chat a little bit off air and keep scheming up some great ideas for people in the future.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me, and we'll definitely be doing a lot of these regularly.
All right, sounds good. Cheers, guys.
Later.